No moi, it's Joinen, and welcome to the posts by people who think they're really smart, but probably aren't, but they do like to think they are.
A squared plus b squared equals e equals m, and they're fighting over the c squared.
I was 10 years old when I realized how much of a nerd I am. My first thought was cute, but with Einstein, c was the speed of light, and with the Pythagoras c is the hypotenuse, and I didn't have to look that up. First thought. I don't know, kind of cute. I just find it a little bit endearing. I didn't even have to look it up. I just knew exactly who they were. I don't know, I'd like it. You do this for long enough, you look at enough of these kinds of posts, and you stop just going, ooh, that's cringe. And instead you just have a bit of fun with it. All right? When you get as smart as I am, you don't actually find this stuff very cringe anymore. You sort of past that. People act like this is so hard. I'm 15, and yeah, I do have a really high IQ, 150s, and I can easily do integrated calculus in my head and easily calculate the amount of valence electrons in a nucleus. I'm also highly trained in quantum physics. By the way, I'm totally self-educated. There are no electrons in any atomic nucleus. Well, I mean, self-educated, cut the 15-year-old some slack. What does this even mean? Also, I'm highly trained in quantum physics. By the way, I'm totally self-educated. How are you highly trained? How are you highly trained yet self-educated? Literally just maths methods, kids. Yeah, but this is 15. This kid's 15. And like I always say, I give them absolute pass when they're 15. Because you can't tell me you didn't say cringy stuff when you were 15. It's just funny. We look at them, we're like, that 15-year-old didn't even know that there were no electrons in an atomic nucleus. Whoa. Rookie alert. The two highest IQ scores ever recorded belonged to women. Unusual, considering I've never met a woman smarter than me. Oh gosh. Well, that's unfair, considering I've never met a man smarter than me either. Oh! You thought he was being sexist, but no. He's just equally smarter than everyone on Earth. The funniest comment here, though, is unusual. Unusual what? Unusual for the two highest IQ scores ever recorded to be women? Sure. Unusually high. That's kind of the point. Weight is not measured in kilograms. What do you mean? Weight is a force. It is measured in newtons in the proper measuring system. Kilogram is measuring mass and not force. A body's relative mass, or the quantity of matter contained by it, giving rise to a downward force, the heaviness of a person or a thing. That went over my head. Yeah, that's why I'm waiting for a chat to chime in so I can just use their comments instead of mine. But everyone's still talking about the last one. You don't measure your weight in bananas? Yeah, weight isn't measured in kilograms. Think about it. It's measured in bananas. I know for a fact when I put bananas on a scale. Bumble! My personal hell is stuck in a conversation with someone who doesn't have the capacity for fourth dimensional thinking.
Ooh. Whoa, I can think of 4 dimensions. I can think in X, Y, Z.
And what, time? Or is that a myth? Fourth dimensional thinking. I feel like I need to Google that now. Fourth dimensional thinking is a concept that refers to the idea of factoring in the existence of obstacles in different time periods. So what? Hurdles. Hurdles on a running track. Common knowledge notes that time is the fourth dimension, and that Marty, now we're talking about Marty, was supposed to take the DeLorean back and forth in time. Yeah, exactly. Hence the term fourth dimensional thinking. All right, so as long as you can think about Marty and the fact that he was supposed to take the DeLorean back and forth in time, now you can have a conversation with this Bumble dude. To be fair, an MBA is basically the easiest degree to get. I could get an MBA with my hands tied behind my back and do it. Not worth my time. I don't want to spend 2 years learning profit equals revenue minus cost. That's what an MBA gets you, is this bit right here. Profit equals revenue minus cost. Fixing typos in your text is for cowards. I'll message someone to watch Are You Dong Dong gift. And that's on them to figure out what I just said. Shows your ignorance and inability to use proper grammar. Really, a great way to teach your children to spell and write a correct sentence. Feel sorry for you, but even more sorry for your children. Hope you're able to read and understand this, as the spelling and grammar are correct. You flex hard, you can't structure a sentence. If you type what to you dong tongue kif jit, that doesn't mean you don't know how to spell or you don't know how to grammar. It just means you just mashed your thumbs on a keyboard. And you're like, oh well, they're gonna know what it says anyway. Would you believe that there are different contexts for language and written language? You can, like, for example, talk differently in a text message to your mate than you would in your essay for college. LaMayo, why do people write like this? You sound like a pseudo-intellectual idiot, lol. I'm not going to indulge a heated altercation with an online identity, but if you're going to flail derogatory insults, expend an effort in understanding them first. Pseudo-intellectual implies a willingness on my part to exert the impression of being an intellectual character. On the contrary, I couldn't give a rat's arse about what you or anybody else has to say on the matter. It's a superficial title and doesn't convey any meaningful information with regards to the characteristics an individual. Wait, doesn't convey any meaningful information with regards to the characteristics an individual. Okay. Even if it did, it wouldn't be pertinent to a naive student such as I. Is this guy trying to say he gave no indication that he's trying to seem, implies a willingness on my part to exert the impression of being an intellectual character? Dude, I have never seen anyone try harder to seem like an intellectual character. You're trying to say that I'm exerting the impression of being an intellectual character and then say, on the contrary, such as I. But they're probably 15. So, seriously, who types like that? But pretentious people try to seem really smart. The funny thing is that they're trying to seem really smart. They're trying to seem really intellectual. And the whole point of that big paragraph was trying to say that he's not trying to seem intellectual. How do you get negative grades? Some people just don't understand. Understand what? Won't get it. You obviously don't get it either if you won't explain it. I do, but you won't be able to understand it. Not because I don't understand it well enough, but because your intelligent levels are too little. Your intelligent levels are too little. Level up your intelligent if you so wish to understand it. I've noticed a trend. Usually more attractive people tend to be more arrogant. Actually, let me rephrase that. Those that perceive themselves to be more attractive act that way. Usually the two correlate closely, though there are outliers. Okay. Moses, verified. You can get verified on Tinder? Yes, it is really me. I am the actual Moses. My story is way too long, complicated, and generally just impossible to comprehend for normal human beings, and seems like I'm not done writing it. So, I take it as my moral obligation to every sentient form of life to just keep to myself. Wonderful life of introvert. What? There is always but I'm being told there is still some intelligent people out there. Guess I came to see for myself. I don't understand anything you're saying, Moses. I think you're too intelligent for me. I am a little bit confused. What is this? Man. Intelligent person likes cooking, outdoors, Netflix, and baking. But of course, music. Oh, I'm sure. One day, when you can comprehend facts, we'll talk again. Until then, I'll continue to be a high intellect genius, and you will most likely continue on a path of ignorance. Good luck. You wish good luck to these people. Like, you can't help but just feel maybe a little bit sorry, right? For these types of people that feel like they need to put it out there so strongly. Like, no, guys, you don't understand. Like, I don't need to prove myself to you, but like, gosh, you're actually just an idiot. And I am the epitome of genius. And that's why I don't have any friends. Solve it means your IQ equals 188. You want me to lower my IQ? Oh! We need, you know, say, bah! That's the one. That's the one. I won't even deny it. If you got to come back like that, you do. You got that big brain. You got that above, greater than 188 IQ. The cognitive capacity necessary to compute such nuanced and sophisticated ideas is not one that is possessed merely by your average layman, which is why I understand why you chose to reply with an answer that ignores the central objective and pinpointed your efforts on my example of Karl Marx. Funny thing is, this is just as pretentious as if he had just replied, straw man. I think what I am seeing here is an identical epistemology to religion transferring itself ideologically in the political realm, but with serious consequences. Okay, let me explain. There seems to be a cognitive intermediation zone between religious and ideological commitment, with ideological adherence to the dogmas injected by media and our emotional interpretations. Let me continue. The ideological replacement to religious belief is grounded in virtually no empirical data and facts, and is driving our civilization to the ground. Insofar as we engage in it, religious belief, in spite of its faults, guides human consciousness and assists in ethical decisions making, placing the individual sovereign above all his/her responsibilities to the burden of life. Let me continue. Its replacement, dogmatic ideological adherence, embodies a set of doctrines, taking that responsibility off of the individual and placing the blame onto others. As a means of tactical persuasion, it uses misleading and factually baseless information. It installs methodical tripwires into the brains of politically susceptible teenagers. Okay. Wait. Yeah. I said it. Like, I'm sorry. I just have the guts to say what everyone's thinking.
I'm so sorry and it zoned out automatically. I'm sorry, you did a great job reading that though.
It's okay. I forgive you. You know, I touched on some important topics there, discussion points. It's probably just, you know, below your ability to comprehend like what I was going on about. I don't know. Like, I've got an IQ like in the 150s, and I just...
My brains åt wall of text and just went on a nap for 10 seconds.
Yeah, and that's completely fine. Like, I completely understand it. Like, not everyone has the capacity, the IQ to really sit through such truth bombs. But we can't all be amazing. Babe, I thought of that in like 3 minutes at work on break. Lol. Something you're gonna find out about me. Okay, so what? New relationship? I can essentially run mental circles around most people. Even as a kid, I could, my own dad. What? Even as a kid, I could my own dad and teachers. I just see depth in everything. I can't explain it really. Like, I'm really good. I really, really know what I'm talking about. But at the same time, I just can't even explain it. Like, I don't know. It's just something you gotta learn about me, babe. Yeah. Like, I don't understand. Like, it only took me 3 minutes on my work break. Like gosh, like I was already thinking about like what Pam had to say to me, because she really like told me off for something I had said earlier. She didn't appreciate it, and I was just sort of, I was chewing on that for a little bit. But like, even then on my break, it still only took me like 3 minutes to think of that. I'm like, what? It took you half a day? Highly dislike you saying babe. Hey, babe, pipe down, babe. I'm pretty smart. Okay. Look, babe, you're not quite this. I've written 5 books and almost 50 articles in half a dozen academic disciplines. Some of them among the most cited in the last 20 years. I am in 6 departments. I am stunned by the arrogance of folks with zero intellectual output pontificating about wokeness and academia. Twitter for iPhone. I don't understand these kind of posts. I am an actual genius. I have done this with my life. I am actually very, very notable. And for that reason, I simply do not understand how people can be not so notable. Do you plan to go to university? United States Air Force, actually in the nursing field. Oh, damn. Sounds good. Good luck though, because they are hard to get in. I'm too smart, lol, so I'll be fine. It's too smart, by the way. I don't even know who's being the too smart one here. I guess both of them. If I was in charge of the world, everyone with an IQ below 140 would be neutered or killed. Damn, bro, would you volunteer first? Let's start with you. Ooh. Damn, bro. So what? You're under 140 IQ? No. You know reverse. It is you. Eugenics? Eugenics is the only answer. Do you ever click on the YouTube training page and feel incredibly isolated from the rest of the world? I did it again. That's just the side effect from being more intelligent than the average North American. Admittedly, that isn't a very high bar to clear for anyone, but it's something. Seriously. Just look at some of the idiotic garbage that goes viral. What do we have here? What do we have? We've got morgues. Okay, I mean, you know, sure. 1, 2, 3, go. Hey, You did some 1, 2, 3, go. Then we have Ollie White. Brothers try every flavor of Krispy Kreme donuts. I mean, it is kind of funny. It is a little bit of a funny trending screenshot there. I have an IQ of 227 and can solve the most complex calculus equations in seconds. I understand those tests were unreliable, but I'm really good at calculus. And I've been doing it since I was 13. So does that mean I still have a high IQ? What? I don't understand the question. I don't think my IQ is high enough to understand the question. I just love this. I understand those tests were unreliable, but I'm really good, okay? I understand it was some like cheap online test that made me pay like $8 afterwards, and like, it probably fudges it a little bit higher because they want you to feel good and stuff. But like, but I am really good, okay? Listen, 1, I am smarter and better informed. Not bragging, just a fact. The original poster will continue to be a fool regardless. I am sure that other people will tell the original poster that he's an idiot at a later date. 2, emojis are typically used by people with limited vocabularies who are unable to verbally express themselves. That's why social media is littered with and polluted by emojis. And then 3, finally, my final point, I'd much rather not have to tell people they're idiots. Wishful thinking. Eugenics is out of fashion. But there's all these smart people in eugenics. Like, do you want to live in a world where people talk like this? Is that what people really want? Do people just want the world to only consist of people that talk like this? I don't even want to imagine a world with no emojis.
They would fight each other to see who's the smartest.
Yes. Maybe. No, they wouldn't though, because violence is beneath them. They would solve it through a challenge of wits. It would just be who can quote the most Rick and Morty quotes. Anyway, you also seem like an easygoing person, which I really adore. So much of the self-depreciating humor already. Am I being intimidating? I tend to write high-level English already up front, but don't worry, you can rest assured that I don't intend to overwhelm. In fact, trying to impress you. It's clearly working. You also have a wide pelvis bone, which makes you look fertile and procreation ready, thus more feminine and attractive. Say like a woman that deserves to grow. Oh my goodness! Come on! You can't be serious. You cannot be real with me right now, my dude. That cannot be your pickup tactic. First of all, your English isn't high level. It's terrible. It's really bad. Second of all, talking about seeds. Okay, number 1, first up, if you're trying to impress a lady, let's talk first tip here. No seed talk. Anyway, only the smartest of the smart people actually come and follow me on Twitch. It's up there, it's linked down below, and you can be a part of this live. And you can get some of the Lemon Cotton merch or the Nug Thug merch. Again, it's only really for smart people, so if you're not that smart, then I'm sorry. And go and subscribe to my main channel. You wouldn't understand the one video that's on that channel if you're not really high IQ, but you can give it a go. Bye.